Welcome back to Lightning GIS. Today we're going to cover a topic that you might not associate with GIS, but is actually very important to being an effective GIS user. And the topic we're going to focus on is Windows File Explorer, which is an app that's part of the Windows package, and also File Management Basics. First of all, let's talk about Windows Explorer. Let me switch screens here. Get us to Windows Explorer. The Windows Explorer icon is this little folder. If it's not on your toolbar, you can search in your search for File Explorer and it will come up and you can open it that way. Get rid of that window. Here's the window. That is Windows File Explorer. The basic parts here, we have sort of a table of contents. We'll go through some of these parts. A menu up here with some items you might want to use. The path bar, this tells you which directory or folder you're in, and so forth. Okay, the other tool that you will use in GIS to manage files, especially your GIS data files, is Arc Catalog. But we're going to focus on that in a different discussion. So let's keep moving with File Explorer. Okay, File Explorer is useful for the initial import of data. Say you download some data from the internet, it comes into your computer. Often that data is in the form of a compressed file, like a zip file, or other sort of archive. You can unzip or uncompress those archives in File Explorer. Once you get that done and you get the file saved in the right place in your computer using File Explorer, then you're going to switch to Arc Catalog and use that for renaming your GIS files, for creating data connections to GIS folders, and for adding GIS data to your projects and maps. Alright, let's go over some basic Windows file structures terminology. First of all is the root folder. The root folder, these are just the basic bottom level folder that's associated with each lettered hard drive. So you probably know that most computers have a C drive, some have a D drive, and some have other letters. On this computer we can get to those root folders by coming to Windows File Explorer and clicking on this PC. Here is a list of the hard drives connected to my computer right now, and my local disk is the C drive. And if I double click on that, here are all the folders that are within the root folder of C. If we click up here, you can see that all of these are inside this C root folder, C drive root folder. Alright, next, in Windows you can have what are called directories, or folders is the more common name for those. Folders can store files and other folders. So we can have a nested level of folders within folders within folders. And then the next level down would be a file, an individual file, like you would save a Word document or Excel document or a GIS document. And file names have two parts. The part before the period, or to the left of the period, is the name itself. And I've zoomed in on one of these file names here. The part to the right of the period is called the extension. For the most part, the extension is usually a 3 or 4 letter code of some sort, although it can be more. And that code tells the computer which file or which application is probably going to open that file. So if you have a .docx file, that's a hint to the computer that that file probably should be opened up using Microsoft Word. If you have an MXD file, that's a hint that it probably should be opened up using ArcMap. Alright, so let's talk about window path names. As we talked about, folders can have folders inside of them, so you can have your root directory, and inside your root directory, like the C drive, you can have a bunch of folders, and then if you open up one of those folders, you can have folders inside of that. And that list of folders that you have to follow or navigate through to find a file is called a path name. So here, If I go to my L drive, I have a folder called GIS data. If I click on that, inside of that I've got 4 more folders. If I click on the MO folder, which stands for Missouri, I've got a number of other folders. And then as I click on those, there are files inside some of these folders. Now, if I want to know the path to this particular folder, the streams folder, you can see up here in the path bar, it's giving me a breadcrumb trail of sorts. It's in the L drive, and it's inside a folder called GIS data, and then inside GIS data is a folder called MO, and inside MO is called Hydro, and then inside of that is the streams folder. Now there are no files in here right now, but if there were files, they would be listed at this point. And as you've seen, if you click on that icon to the left of the path bar, it switches from this breadcrumb trail to the C:/ folder name, and so on and so forth. And a good tip for Windows is when you click on that, then you can press the combination of Control and C to copy. And then if you go to another program like ArcMap or ArcCatalog or Microsoft Word or any other application where you go to either open or save a document, you can put that, you can paste with Control V that path name right into that open or save dialog, and it'll take you right to the folder that you already had open in Windows File Explorer. Alright, let's talk about the quick access shortcuts. On the left side here in the panel, we have this quick access. You can pin folders to it. You can see I've got a number of folders pinned. You can unpin from your quick access drive, and then you see that it goes away. Now at the bottom of the pinned folders, you can also find a number of folders, usually 3 or 4, that you've used recently. So if you've been using a folder a lot in the last few minutes, but it's not one of your pinned folders, it will usually show up down here, which is a quick way to get back to that folder. We've already gone over the This PC. If you click on This PC over here in the left-hand preview panel, you can get to your root folders, your lettered hard drives. So that's a useful thing to do. And with that, we'll wrap up for this episode of Lightning GIS. I hope that was helpful information. Subscribe to the Lightning GIS channel on YouTube for more lightning fast GIS tutorials. Thank you for joining us today.